It was the runoffs held in July 2 years ago. Among some of the most notable ones, the district attorney's race between current DA Luis Sáenz and Carlos Mazo. The other race, big race between Aaron Hernandez and Yolanda Begum for Justice Precinct Place 2.
2012 was not a typical voting year as the primaries were pushed back from March to May and runoffs were held in July. There were several hotly contested races and everyone campaigned hard for every vote. But according to the Attorney General's office, some went too far. 6 women are now charged for voter fraud. Elections Administrator Chris Davis was not running the Elections Department 2 years ago, but doesn't believe the races that summer would have had a different outcome. Carlos Mazo and Luis Sáenz were battling for the DA seat, which DA Sáenz won. Aaron Hernandez became the JP Precinct 2 Place 2 judge, beating out Yolanda Begum, and Abel Gomez unseated Pete Avila for the Constable Precinct 2 seat.
And it'll always be to actually tie in ballots to voters, whether they voted, correctly or fraudulently.
The charges range from illegally assisting voters in casting their ballots to illegal mail-in votes, which had an unusual high number that year.
This investigation focused primarily on mail-in ballots, or ballot by mail.
Davis says these arrests won't keep voters from the polls in the future, but rather will show Cameron County residents that voter fraud will not be tolerated.
The county, these agencies that are starting to take allegations of fraud seriously, in and of itself has kind of curbed possibly fraudulent activity in ballot by mail. Now, ballot by mail is still a perfectly legitimate and accepted form of voting.
Davis could not say which candidates these women allegedly worked for, if any, or what their exact roles were, since it's the AG's office that's investigating. But he hopes not all politiqueras will get a bad reputation as a result of this investigation.
I like to assign like a big P politiquera to ones that actually cross the line and do things, that are against the law. But politiquera also has kind of a benign connotation. It's folks that actually help a candidate go out and block walk, hold signs, say at a polling place, perfectly legitimate activities.
Now, with the big election coming up in November, Davis hopes voters will continue to exercise the right to choose and report any suspicion of fraud. Live in the studio, Daisy Barrera, Action 4 News.